know, more energy, more life, more energy, more like, cool.
And also,
this is what men
when
do.
you are the wife, remember you are the winner. You are the big
Yeah.
loser.
I don't have it, I don't got it, and I don't want to buy it, and I don't want to find more either. Like, hey, I'm May, and this is Opie Said, your go-to for the craziest Reddit stories.
I'm Marie, and get ready for a drama-filled episode.
Hey, I'm Mel, and let's do it. Let's hear more chaos, because we love the chaos.
So, the first story comes from Relationship Advice. Husband 42 Mel wants to go on an international vacation with his family, while I'm 40 female, 6.5 months pregnant. I, 40 female, am struggling with my husband, Mel 42. I initially thought the issue was with my in-laws, but I've realised it's actually between my husband and me. In short, it seems like my husband's parents and brother invited themselves on our Babymoon. I'll be 26 to 28 weeks pregnant during our travels. I made it very clear to my husband that I wasn't interested in a family trip. He assured me that wouldn't happen and that would only see them for a limited amount of time. After several arguments, my husband asked if we could spend additional time with his family. So he's asking for the thing that she said that she does not want. Okay. After several arguments, my husband asked if we could spend additional time with his family. I told him I was okay with them tagging along on our plans, but I wasn't willing to do anything I didn't want to do or alter our trip for them. Following another argument, my husband finally admitted that he hadn't addressed this earlier because he didn't want to hear my opinion. He said we have certain obligations to our families. He wants me to be close with his family and feels that limiting our time with them on this vacation could cause problems. I feel like he's asking too much of me, especially considering the compromises I've already made. We're only going to this location because his family has connections there. It's an 11-hour flight plus an 8-hour round-trip train ride to reach where his family will be. There's no other reason I'll choose to go there. I've tried to express how physically uncomfortable I may be at that stage in my pregnancy, but I don't feel like he's taken that seriously. I'm feeling unsupported and very concerned about being prioritised. On this trip and in our future together, I'm anxious about the baby and overwhelmed with fear. What is the compromise when we don't see eye to eye on family obligations?
Don't go.
That's not a compromise.
That is for me. I'm already compromised by being pregnant. I'm not going to compromise anymore.
Quite
Guess
literally.
what? Guess what the holiday is called? Babymoon.
Exactly.
And what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
I need to go somewhere. A Babymoon, from what I understand, and I've never read anything about it, but the whole process and aspect of it, I thought, was to prep yourself like your last hurrah before having a baby.
Yeah.
And now it's become a family holiday that's out of obligation. First of all, it was no, we're not going to see them. Then it's like, actually, didn't really want to hear your opinion, but I want you to be close to my family. You're not close enough. So we're going to take boats, trains and planes while you're pregnant so that we can go to this remote place that they've got connections to, because, you know, there's not a whole atlas filled with countries we could go to for a Babymoon. Get out of here. I wouldn't go, because this is no longer a Babymoon. This is a compulsory family holiday.
It's been hijacked.
So you're not. In fact, it was planned.
Yeah.
Not with you in mind.
It's true.
And
Yeah.
you're just coming, you're tagging along. And everything that you've just mentioned is a compromise on your behalf. So the only thing I would do is not go. There's no way you can tie me into a holiday that I didn't ask for, unless it's a family holiday, i.e. a wedding, i.e. it's a family holiday, but it's not a Babymoon. It's no longer a Babymoon.
At all.
Okay, so for me, in terms of the compromise, I would say that your family cannot attend the Babymoon, and I will spend time with your family when we're at home. When we're in the country, city that we live in, that's where I will spend time. But when it's on my dime, going on vacations, holidays, getaways, I don't want to spend it with your family. That will be my compromise. And I will do the obligatory, like every month you do Sunday dinners or whatever it may be. But that is the compromise for me in terms of actually how much time I spend with your family. and leave it at that. In regards to the baby moon, no, please uninvite them. Or you know what, you lot go and enjoy that, because it sounds gruesome in terms of travel alone. 11-hour flight, and I think it's 8-hour train ride. I am not pregnant. I am in fit condition, and I don't want to do that either. So I can only understand, I can only imagine how uncomfortable this woman would be, heavily pregnant, undertaking such travel. So yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm with Marie. The compromise is I ain't doing it. And if we need to discuss family arrangements, it's only when I'm at home, I'll spend time in the same city as them.
Yeah.
No, literally, I think that's a compromise. But really and truly, guys, I want to say leave the marriage. Yeah? Leave.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I'm trying to be mature.
I completely agree with the girls.
It's just, it's a hectic situation. And people don't understand being pregnant.
Yeah.
Being pregnant is so... Do you know how many times you need to go to the toilet?
That's what I'm saying. 8 hours on a train. We did. How many
It's
hours
not
did
even
we do?
advised. Yeah. It's not even advised to travel that much and do that much. So I don't even know what you're doing. For what? Family. Let me tell you something. I'm married into a family that's very close, and I don't do all that. I don't do it.
Literally.
Because that's not the way I am, but I am welcoming. You don't have to be anything to be part of the family. Anyone that says to you that you have to be that, go find a person that's like that. Move.
Literally. But this is where I just think you need to have these conversations before marriage, before babies. But I say that, but then at the same time, let's not, focus so much on things that have now gone and you can't do anything about. Let's talk about their current situation. But I think that's a healthy compromise, saying that, cool, we'll spend time here, but not there. That's as much as I can give you guys.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm like Melinda. I kind of get hung up on how did you get here?
Listen.
Because if we're able to answer that question, then maybe we can create a plan for what to do going forward. But the fact, look, she asks the question. She creates this sentence, which is really important. I'm feeling unsupported and very concerned about being prioritized on this trip and in our future together.
So that's why I gave the answer.
That's because you're not.
Yeah.
You know that his priority is his family. Like he even somehow your trip has been hijacked, and then he's saying, I didn't want to say anything, but you're gonna need to step up your game in terms of your contact and how you communicate with my family. I want more. You're not doing enough. I want more. That's essentially what he's saying. And you already know that you're not the priority. You already know now that it's only going to get worse, that you voice your concerns and it's made no difference.
Do you know what? It's something that I feel a lot of people don't actually even seek in a relationship, regardless of marriage or not. And I think it's really important. Compatibility. A lot of these dilemmas, honestly, you're not compatible. Your husband needs someone that will literally mesh themselves into the family and be like one of his family members. Get down with every requirement of his family, be on hand, probably with his mum, etc., etc. Why does someone like that, because it's not male related, but if family is really important to you, find someone of similar mindset? Like, I don't understand. People do this all the time. Orphan, whatever it may be, but it's like if this is really important to you, find someone that also values that. But instead, a lot of our dilemmas, you find that how the husband is prioritizing his mother, her word is king, God, everything. So why not find someone that agrees and is happy to respect that?
See, you say that, but
I just don't care.
You say that, but I feel like we see it every single day.
These people ain't changed. I bet he ain't changed.
No, but listen,
I bet he ain't changed.
I just think opposites are drawn to one another. Take, for example, you see it a lot where a quiet person wants to be in a relationship with somebody who's bubbly so that can rub off on them. But the person who's bubbly and the extrovert gets nothing from this introvert.
No, sorry.
That's not dissimilar. Let me tell you something,
Okay,
yeah?
how? No, do you know what? Because I've been in a relationship like that. I'm telling you, they steal your shine, they steal your joy, they steal your bubbliness. Like, it's not conducive. If you're a calm person that's attracted, that likes a little bit of, bubbly, more energy, more life, more energy, more like, cool. I get it, but if you can also ride with them, but don't slowly over time
Make them like
chip and
you.
chip and chip and chip. Oh, you're talking too much. Oh, you've always got
You're
something to
doing
say.
too much.
Excuse me, you weren't enjoying this in the beginning.
No.
What are you talking about? Like, leave us alone. I just think everybody needs to accept who they are. But you know what? That's the root cause. Let me tell you something. So we're always saying, how did you get to married? A lot of people don't know themselves. Whether they're 42, 15, 18, a lot of people don't know themselves. And I'm a person that knows myself. I know exactly what I want to be around. But a lot of people don't. So they go with what society tells them they should go with. And then they end up fucked up. And then they're like, oh my God, this wasn't even what I wanted. I didn't even like what I'm studying, but my mum said this. Or I'm with a man that, is the light of the, what's it called? The person that makes everybody laugh and whatever. But when he's at home, like, he's so moody. But it's because you were there trying to go for the person that everybody deems is like a great candidate. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really personable, but it's like, you're a quiet person. You actually much prefer, if you did the work internally, if you understood yourself, you actually prefer a calm person as opposed to someone that's a joker, etc., etc. Like, start with that. People get to grips with who you are, and then you can understand what it is that you want from life, from a partner, from situations, from work, where you want to live, how you want to raise your children, etc.
I'm going to start calling this the Melinda rants at the end of the episodes.
I've got things to say, guys.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Do you know what?
But am I lying?
I'm going to start a segment right at the end of the episode. Melinda rants. This is why. And then the bob is moving, shaking and... Huh?
But wait a sec, am I wrong?
No.
But you know what? I really like, it's like I put the ball down and you took it and
Right,
ran.
I do it all the time. And these times I'm here trying to be mysterious and quiet, I'm
She's
not.
not mysterious. She's not quiet.
Girl, you don't
The
come
only
with that
mystery
feature.
is that we don't know that you're loud.
I know, no, I'm trying, man.
Okay, top comment. You need to talk to your doctor. As a nurse, I would never, in capital letters, recommend such a long flight during pregnancy, especially since your age puts you at a higher risk. Please consider going somewhere you'd enjoy that isn't so far away.
She's right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I said that. It
Even
sounded gruesome.
No, but
The
even get
entire
sign
thing.
off, like just so no one could contest that. You can,
Doing
right?
all of that.
I think
Doing
you can,
all of
but I
that
don't think
in
they
a
want to
loving
listen.
relationship is crazy to me.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's
Having
not.
to get
but
a
it's
sign
not-
off
but
so
let
that I
me
don't
tell
have
you
to go
why.
on the family holiday. One day she's gonna have to go on this holiday, by the way. Whether
Yeah,
it's
but take the
it's
excuse while you
I
can.
don't want to go. Should
No,
be
but
enough.
listen, no, but she said that already. But do you know what it is? For me, the red flag was this line where she said, following another argument, my husband finally admitted that he hadn't addressed this earlier because he didn't want to hear my opinion.
Yep.
That's all I needed to know.
He was appeasing
He,
her.
he
to get what
doesn't
wants.
care for her opinion.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Drama aside, we know that 96% of you guys are not actually subscribed. Can you do us a favor and hit the subscribe button? It helps us more than you know, and it helps us to push our content out to people just like yourselves, those who have ever found any enjoyment, interest, or entertainment from our content. And we also have, if you're interested in any more drama, we also have a series called Drama Tuesdays. On IG and on TikTok, we take the time to review TV series and films that we liked and might have hated. Make sure to send across your submissions. We want to hear from you. So send us a DM, voice note, email, or post on our Reddit account. We want to hear more stories directly from you. And make sure to follow us on IG, Threads, and TikTok at OP Said Podcast.
This is from True Off My Chest. The idea of having children is repulsing to me. I, 26 female, have always imagined how life would be, as we girls often do. I always thought I'd finish school, start a career, get married, and then have children around 30. Everything is going well so far. I finished school and I'm just about to start working. I'm in a long-term relationship, but the idea of having children makes me feel sick. Don't get me wrong, I do love children, but only when they're someone else's. I've seen how life changes when you have kids, and I don't think I want that. Having to give up so much and devote yourself fully to a child, destroying your body, losing sleep, barely having time for yourself, sacrificing your career, it all seems like a kind of punishment to me. To be honest, it sometimes is. How can I be thrilled about coming home after a 10-hour shift and not being able to just order takeout and relax, but instead having to care for another human being. Most of my friends think I'm just being a pick-me or don't take me seriously when I talk about this. But I'm starting to think my feelings won't change. I'm afraid that if I end up becoming a mother just because it's expected, I'll be a miserable one.
Sorry, how does that make her pick me? For saying
Yeah,
that
I
she
didn't get
doesn't.
that bit.
For
She's
saying
not,
that she
she's not
doesn't.
around the right people.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
get
Just
that.
actually-
means that
that's
she's
not what a
either
pick-me
afraid
is.
of being a mum or she doesn't want to be a mum. That's the conclusion I will come to.
I can relate. I'm not gonna lie. I thought all my life I would want to do what society expected: finish school, get a good career, meet a nice man. Do they even exist? Anyway, meet a nice man, get married, and have kids. And that's not the way my life has gone. And the thing is, dating in this day and age and social media, just the materials that we have available to us, the information, it's not doing good marketing for marriages and kids. And like, I'm single at the moment. I have no intention, or it's not in my plans right now to have children. And it's something that I question, like, not often, but when it comes up, because I've got friends that have got kids, um, it's not sounding easy.
Yeah.
It's not sounding easy, like, to the point where it's off-putting for me. I'll be honest with you. I now just want peace and happiness. Like, those are my two goals. Peace and happiness in whatever I choose. So whether it's a career, business, whatever it may be, but it just has to be true to myself. And that whole having kids, being pregnant, I feel like you lose so much of yourself. And that's something, like, I'm very pleased about. Like, I know myself, and I'm not saying that I'm finished, work in progress. I've got lots to work on. But, like, one thing I do know, like this person, I feel like I would kind of, like, really resent the labour involved in being a mother. Not the child, but just, like, all of it, because it's just so much heavy lifting for women. Like, so much, to the point where it is really off-putting.
Yeah.
Like, so I can totally relate. And I just think you need to really be honest with yourself. And if you do decide that, oh, yeah, actually, about that, yeah, it's a no for me, you need to be honest with your partner, and then find someone that is like-minded, that just wants to be you and them. And that's it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I hate that society almost deems a woman as unfulfilled if she doesn't have kids.
Less than.
But also unfulfilled, really, because you could be winning accolades. You could have so many things to you, like Tracy Ellis Ross. Oh my God. The current obsession with her being older, 50, single, not in a relationship, like, it's like
And
a
willing
newfound,
to entertain a younger guy.
Yeah, and it's like a newfound concept, but it's been existing for many years. And Tracy Ellis Ross has got so many successes, like, so many, from her beauty range pattern to her acting, etc., etc. We all know what it is, but society and the entertainment world, everyone seems so obsessed with the fact that she's child-free. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but just get clear and get honest with yourself, and then be honest with other people. And anyone that says that you're a pick-me, I really don't understand how they got to that summary. But anyone that thinks that way of thinking is wrong, remove yourself from them, because oftentimes, and especially the generation above, people aren't being honest about how hard it is. A lot of people are not being honest about how hard it is to be a wife and a mother. And I've come across a few accounts about women that regret having kids. They love their kids.
Yeah.
They love their kids. Let me be very clear. They love their kids, but they don't like being a mother because it is gruesome and exhausting for them, like most of them. So I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much of that content, but that's what I see. Having kids, that's the realities of it for me right now. Like, even though I have friends that do have them, a lot of them aren't, I don't know, like, there's more negative, there's more cons than there are pros and benefits right now. So yeah, it's fine. Anyway, the conclusion for me, like, it's fine to feel the way that you do, but just get honest with yourself and move accordingly.
I completely agree. I've never wanted kids. When I was in one long-term relationship, I considered it, and then I said to him, I was like, nah, he already had a kid. And so he was fine with it. But then when I said maybe, he said, okay. And then when I said, no, he said, oh, come on. And I said, are you well? I was very honest about the fact that that wasn't for me. And then he tried to persuade me round to that way of thinking. And then thank God that relationship ended. And after that, I just became so clear in the fact that actually I never wavered really internally. I never wanted kids. Like I don't have a maternal bone in my body. There's many reasons as to why I don't want kids.
She doesn't.
I don't. I just it's not who I am.
And there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah. There's absolutely nothing
That's
wrong.
actually the beauty of me.
Pardon?
It's the beauty of you.
Yeah, and I'm very clear and honest, and I'll have this conversation with whomever, and whoever I am single, and whoever I eventually entertain long term, I'll tell them I've got no interest. It's not who I am, and I don't want to pretend. I kind of had to pretend when I was younger because it makes you more desirable, more attractive as a female. Mm-hmm. But as you get older, you should become more confident in yourself, and you should be able to stand by what you do and don't want to do with your life, because it is just that, it's your life. The thing is, when you become a parent, you prioritize other people, and I'm too important. It's not selfish, by the way. It's not selfish to say that you don't want kids, but I'm too important to me to want to have kids. Like, I actually don't want to share. I've got no more love to give.
Yeah, you do.
Outside, no, in that sense. Like, I can give it to another person, my partner, but I've got nothing else. I've got nothing else.
May said, that's it.
and I don't want to come.
Always when she's being serious, she just becomes unserious. And it's just like, this was so profound until you became...
She said, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it, though. Like, you have to know what your capacity is. And I don't have it, I don't got it, and I don't want to buy it, and I don't want to find more either. Like, this is it. The well is dry after this other person
but also,
comes into play.
Can I say something? For me, honestly, the women are out there that look down on, and a lot of it starts from women as well. Like, you can feel their judgment, like their criticism and their questions, like, about why
these people look rough, by the way.
My God, I'm telling
these
you right now.
people look rough and run ragged because
like
they're a
feel
mum, because they're a wife. And honestly, I've come to question all societal titles that we're supposed to have.
Yeah, like,
because
let's
you know
start
what?
questioning
Just
stuff.
if you only get one shot at life, make sure that you're happy. And if that happiness is not inclusive of getting married, of having kids, it's okay.
I think
It's
absolutely
okay.
But
design your life to the point that you're happy, and that's it.
Exactly. But you know the saying, misery loves company? I'm going to tell you something right now. That's how I see marriage and kids. And I'm not saying because married life and having children is nasty, it's terrible, it's the worst thing that can ever happen. But if a lot of people are honest with themselves, they're not happy. They're not happy. But it's like, because we've been conditioned, and we're African here as well, born and bred, yeah? It's very much a part of our societal and cultural identity. You get older, you get a husband, you get children, all the rest of it. It's just what we're conditioned to do. And with the whole misery loves company, even though a lot of these people are miserable, and I mean that from the depths of my soul, yeah, they're so miserable. Do you know it's them that will still be encouraging other people? They'll be like, oh no, but yeah, when are you going to get married? Make sure you get married. Oh, but I think it's time. Oh, are you single? And it's just like, even though they are not happy, but you want that. You want me to have the same thing as you. No.
That reminds me of, remember you were saying that you're consuming quite a lot of content where they actually regret having kids?
Yeah.
I remember seeing one of the TikToks where there was this lady and she's had 2 kids, been married, and at first the union was fun, it was happy, it was great. But then he wasn't contributing in the household, like at all. And then he said to her, I want to have a 3rd kid. And she said, not sure about that. Anyway, she went and told her friends, all of her friends saying, yeah, it'll be great. Have a 3rd kid, have a 3rd kid. Her in-laws were saying, yeah, have a 3rd kid. The husband, he come with some like PowerPoint plan of why they should, bullet point, this. She was very on the fence, but more leaning towards a no. Anyway, so finally has the baby. She says it's the worst pregnancy she ever experienced. Said it was just tough, like it was just hell on earth. She had postnatal depression as well. So she really found connecting with this kid quite tough. Anyway, like she finds the pregnancy hard, the motherhood to this that particular child hard. She basically enters depression. A few years go by, so the kid's now around about 3. She finally confesses to her friends how tough she's having it. Each of them say, yeah, to be fair, you shouldn't have done it.
Now what can we do? Put a baby back in my stomach? That's what I'm saying when I say misery loves company.
And then they go on, to tell her tales of their marriage and how much they're finding it difficult being a mum as well. And that's when, do you know what? As a society and as friends, especially as women to one another, we have to be better. We have to be honest, and we have to be very forthcoming and saying, do you know what? It was tough for me. Like maybe that's not the road that maybe this is not the road that you want to travel. I do have to say it's the beauty of our friendship. Marie is really honest about like when things aren't so great. About having kids, and that's the kind of just honest all the time. But that's the kind of information that more women need to hear, because instead of selling us all of these like great marketing, great propaganda as to what's so great about a kid, oh I just love him, oh I just love her, what's the reality day to day of being a mum to said child?
I will tell you something for nothing. I'm the twins combined. I went through a period when I didn't want kids. But that was, after therapy, realizing that it was out of realizing that I was afraid of men due to past experiences. So I was afraid to even think of anything to do with a man. Then it became, I had this first relationship and I thought, oh my God, I can't imagine even trusting someone to even start a family. That takes an immense amount of trust. And I spent 7 years celibate. After that, I was like, I'm open to being in a relationship that leads to marriage. I don't know if I want to be a mum, and if I ever do, I think 2 will be a maximum, because I don't think I have the capacity to do more. Like people that have 3-4 kids, I'm like, damn, you can do that. But
it's a lot.
At the same time, I just think it's a lot, because especially now being a mum, they're different personalities, they're different people. They require different sorts of parenting. The way I parent my 4-year-old is not how I parent my 6-year-old, who's a boy. The girl is a lot more clingy. She's a lot more needy. I enjoyed my first round of motherhood. It was a great introduction because he was calm. He was a wonderful baby. I could literally lead him anywhere. He was happy, go lucky. But my first pregnancy was also my most traumatic, because that came with news that he might not be... he might have brain damage. So even though it was traumatizing, he came out and he was the most wonderful baby. My second pregnancy was the toughest one, but my child, anyone that meets her, she's a force to be reckoned with. Sometimes I don't even know how to parent her, and I've had to learn to teach her in a way that is completely different to my boy. And anyone that's met my daughter is like, nah, she is a joke. Like,
but they say the second baby always is. They're like a whole different personality.
She's testing. There are some days that as a mum, you will love your kids, but you may not like them. And I need people to be really honest about it. It's not every day that you wake up and you like your partner. It's not every day that you choose to. You choose to, choose to love them with every day and every version of them, the same way you do with your friends. There are qualities in your friends that might not be perfect, but you are like, do you know what? That's my friend. I'm overlooking all of that. Today she's been a bit of a bitch, but it's fine. It's the same with kids. They have their off days. They don't have their emotions regulated.
But the problem is that parents don't communicate that to single people who are considering having kids.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about. We're saying, like, when it comes to talking to any other female that we know that does have kids, they only tell you the good. They never tell you about even the medium or the bad. You just only hear the good.
I didn't have a great experience during when I had like my second Tory in the beginning, because I just thought she was too clingy. I didn't have that experience with Tam. Tam was, I could literally breastfeed, give him to you. He was happy. You remember Tam. Tory was on me like a rash. I remember I went to Rochelle and Chris's wedding and I had to leave her behind. She cried the whole weekend because,
Aw,
and my mum
bless
was
her.
like, this child needs you back. I'd never been in that situation before.
Yeah.
I even went to work quickly once and Terry called me. He was like, you need to come back home. He's never had to do that before.
Yeah.
And he's got more than one child.
Yeah.
So I was just like, it was a complete different experience with her. I felt like she had to be near me. And then one day she just stopped and it became a much more pleasant experience. But I know people whose child is like that all the time. And that's not to say that she's not clingy now. She's my clingiest child. But now I get it more. I'm a lot more free. I find motherhood a lot better now.
Yeah.
Because they
They're
can talk to
older.
me.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Anytime they cried, I gave them milk.
Yeah.
But now I
She's
know.
telling her secrets.
Yeah, I was like, they're hungry. She can't talk to me. They're hungry. But now now it's, mummy, I didn't like the way you brushed past. I'm like, oh, we're having an emotional issue. I
Yeah.
love the communication that happens. I like children that can talk,
Yeah.
that can express themselves. And the older they get, I enjoy motherhood more. So for me, I'm a mother that likes 2 upwards. I'm not a mother that loves the newborn phase. Whereas I met people who love the newborn phase. In fact, that's the reason why they keep having more, which I think is crazy. But it is what it is. So you are going to meet. And the thing about it is as well, to your point, May, mothers talk to mothers. They don't talk to people who are single. And that's what I found. Like, they wouldn't have a conversation like that with you because they don't think that you would understand.
Yeah.
But I remember when I had my second, I called up one of my other friends. I said, why didn't anyone tell me how vicious it is to go from 1 to 2?
Yeah.
No one talks. They talk about 3. Number 2 takes me out. I've told you, I
Yeah.
was sliding down walls crying because I was like, what is happening? There's too many voices in this house. And it's because the jump from 1 to 2
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
wild. But no one had said that to me until I had Tori. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, the 2 is crazy. When you have 3, they just look after them. So you think I'm going to trust that? Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
No, but then see, when you say that no one said that to you, that's how the silence, but yet the encouragement is how I feel women are with those that don't have kids. Like they're staying silent about what the reality of motherhood is, but then at the same time they're still encouraging women to have more kids, even though they know like being a parent,
How challenging
pregnancy
it can be.
is traumatic. Like pregnancy in itself, before you even get to motherhood, do you know pregnancy is traumatic on every level? Physical, emotionally, spiritually, like every kind of level, but no one talks about that because even the mothers that have 1 kid, all of a sudden, I know I've read a lot of people all of a sudden have pressure to have another one.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Exactly. So
It's
that's
the moment
why
I had 1, within a year they were like,
Exactly.
you should
Oh, you're
have,
gonna have
you
another
should
one.
have more.
Yeah,
and what's
yeah.
it called? And I was like, but I could die. The doctors have actually told me that I could die. Yeah, but you know,
And
you
they're
can
still,
have a
yeah,
third one.
overlooking
I
it.
said, I've had 2 C-sections. I ain't gonna have another one. And I ain't gonna have another child. I've seen the photos of me during the last 4 years. I don't want to look like that again. So you know what? You lot,
photos.
no, thank you.
But-
I don't want any more.
But that's
I'm
what
cool
I
with what I have.
hate. Exactly. And that's really good. But that's what I hate as a single person. Like there's so much pressure from society, from certain cultures, like to have these kids. And it's like, it's okay not to, but also fundamentally, you shouldn't have and be around people and circles, even family. And I don't give a hell. Anyway, you shouldn't be around people that are okay with wanting, like they're okay with you suffering and also encouraging you to suffer and not telling you of what the future looks like.
Yeah, but I think
I don't agree with that.
It goes to women attach a lot of life to suffering. Like the ones that you're talking about, they're like,
No, thank
life
you.
is hard. You know, life is
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, it's not
so
easy.
Are you really going to take
But you
advice
have
from
to
someone that says
but you have
life
to choose
is hard?
Exactly, but you have to choose your hard. And you know what? There's nothing wrong. Like back to, because we've been talking for a while, but back to the dilemma. There is nothing wrong with finally understanding and acknowledging that motherhood may not be for you. But what you do need to do is, as I said, it sounds like you're already honest anyway, but like get really honest, but get honest with everybody else and anybody that encourages you to do something that you don't want to do, whether it's hiking or actually pregnancy and motherhood, remove them from your life.
Hiking to pregnancy and motherhood.
No, it's anything. If you don't want something and someone keeps on forcing it down your throat, I don't agree with it.
I understand. Top comment, don't have kids then. A lot of people choose not to. Just make sure you're clear about that. with your boyfriend/husband and make friends with other childless people.
Yeah.
It will make it easier on you.
It's
Agreed.
true. It's true. That helps a lot.
Yeah, the
Because if
surroundings.
all
Yeah.
because do you know what, actually it reminds me of one of the stories that we read a few weeks back about the girl that was going to do a friendship test, and she was saying basically all of her friends, they're all going out with relatives, two brothers and an uncle,
Yeah.
and how they're basically all got kids but she doesn't, and how she felt like she was being sidelined and kind of
Yeah,
being
that
pushed
changes
out the
things.
friendship because she was the single one. So like the
Child-
motherless,
child-free.
yeah, the
Yeah.
child-free one. And so it does make a difference. You do need to make sure if you are gonna, basically if you decided you're not gonna have kids, then it really helps if you do also have more friends that don't have kids as
Yeah,
well.
because a lot of our friends don't have kids, and that's why I think
Like, it's half and half,
Yeah, it's half and half,
kind
but I
of.
feel like it makes you more confident in your decision as well because you're not the odd one out.
Yeah.
The next story is from Cheating Stories. Dad cheated, now what? A couple of years ago, before I got married, we found out that my dad had cheated on my mum. They were just kissing. My mum chose to forgive him and they ended up moving out of state. Yesterday, I found out that 3 years ago he cheated again, this time involving physical contact. I feel numb and heartbroken. It's hard to process the idea that their 30 plus years of marriage might be coming to an end. Now I feel stuck in the middle, and so do my brothers. My dad says it happened 3 years ago and that he's truly sorry. I don't know what to do. I believe it's ultimately my mum's decision, whether she wants to stay and forgive or move on through divorce. What worries me most is that outside voices might be influencing her decision instead of her following what she truly wants in her heart. If one of your parents ever cheated, what was the outcome in your family? Did they stay together or separate? As a child, you shouldn't really meddle and get in between the marriage of your parents. That's grown folks' business. Even if you are older, it's got nothing to do with you. Honestly, it isn't.
Yeah.
I think you should just be there to comfort whoever has been cheated on, and just always be the child. Support them in the normal everyday ways. Honestly, don't get involved. But this is your parents have been married for 30 plus years. That's something that they need to deal with. Your mom is a grown woman. I know you said that she may be influenced by outside voices, but ultimately she's an adult. It's totally up to her. And being married 30 plus years to then be out in a cold and single, that is a shock.
It's not for the weak.
Yeah, that's a shock, and that's going to take a lot of strength, a lot of courage for her to choose that path. So if she doesn't, you're just going to have to suck it up and just support her in any way possible. That's the only advice I would say, because honestly, it's out of your hands anyway. There's nothing you can do. You just have to support them with whatever decision they make. And your dad says he's truly sorry. Just tell your mum to make sure he behaves that way.
Yeah, I think
That's it. That's the only thing I would say.
See, I wouldn't even go that deep. I would just say whatever happens, happens. Like, let the chips fall where they fall. And all you can do is, be a support system for your mum.
Literally.
How you want to broker the relationship with your father, completely up to you.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely fine for you to decide you don't want him in your life anymore, because this isn't the first time he's cheated on your mum and disrespected her. So that's completely fine as well. I think you just need to let it play out how it's going to play out.
Yeah, mind your business. Some of our parents, cheating is just a part of their life, and they're gonna take it and they're gonna get on with it.
Especially that generation.
Yeah.
And I don't know what culture OP's from, but certain cultures have normalized it. It's even just like, oh, it happened.
And
Oh,
also,
this is what men
when
do.
you are the wife, remember you are the winner. You are the
Yeah.
big loser.
Yeah,
I'll
the
tell you that,
biggest
the
loser.
biggest loser.
I think the biggest
I
clown.
think they've got that all wrong. I remember
Thank
when I got
you.
married, the next day someone was like, and then when he cheats, I said, don't tell me this, I'll be gone. Don't ever tell me
It's
I'm a
such
winner
bad
in a losing
advice.
situation.
Yeah.
You think being disrespected because I get because of this
Because you
ring?
get the official title.
Don't piss me off.
Honestly.
Don't piss me off.
No, it's crazy. Yeah, you just accept it and support. Literally, there's nothing that you can do. We have a top comment. If I were in your predicament, I'd rather my mum split and be happy than stay and be unhappy. I'm assuming you're an adult. So while, yes, the change can be difficult, you can handle it. Be there for her and for her happiness, and stop putting yourself in a situation that isn't entirely about you. Absolutely. Like, I hate people that make situations about them. And I do have this experience. Like, one of my siblings did make my parents' infidelity about her. And I was just like, bro. And I didn't know the word knock, but that's exactly what she was doing, yeah? Big knock. But I was just like, this isn't even about you. Like, this is grown people's business. Stay out of it. Like, just respect everyone's decision. It might be hard, but just respect and support.
And that's it. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Do let us know what your favourite subreddit is.
Also, we would love to hear from you about your own dilemmas. So don't forget to voice note, DM, email, or send your own dilemma to our Reddit. See you next week. Bye.
Bye. All right. My first story.
Is everything okay?
Don't think the last episode, it
My
wasn't great.
oppressor.
It wasn't your oppressor, you
You're
dickhead.
my oppressor.
Listen,
I'm
last episode you weren't great, but I let it go.
Huh?
And neither were you.
Exactly, bro. I don't know why you think.
I
Do you
had
think you're a
shit first
champion
story.
reader?
Yeah.
You're not a
You're
champion
not a champion
reader.
reader.
I am.
You're
And let
not,
me
I'm
tell
telling
something, yeah.
you.
That
In this
first,
room, maybe.
that
There's
first
spelling
story
bees,
was
and I'm
horrible.
sure there's a reading
Spelling
one.
bees,
There's
they're
a spelling
completely
bee. There
different
needs to be
things.
a reading one. I'm pretty sure you could not.
There probably
enter.
is, but
You
why are you
couldn't
talking
enter.
about a spelling bee?
I said there's spelling bee. There needs to be a reading one.
You're
as
so
well.
aff. You bring in things that aren't related. What's happening here?
It's all related. It's words.
And we can go. We can
my
go. Thank you
God.
so much.